Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ask the Zamboni Experts podcast. I am here with Marcy Fileccia, president of the Ice Den in Scottsdale, Arizona, and Chandler, Arizona. Welcome, Marcy.
Thanks for having me, Logan. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. So, hey, I want to talk to you a little bit. You guys run a pretty unique facility out there in Scottsdale and Chandler. Um, right now, we're in the middle of August. It's incredibly hot, especially in Arizona. What kind of challenges do you guys see right now as far as making ice and keeping your ice and keeping it hard and cold?
It's funny that we're talking today. We had a huge monsoon last night, and our rinks absolutely hate monsoons. They hate the humidity, they hate the moisture. Obviously, you guys know that. So we're just challenged with trying to prevent sticky ice. We're challenged with keeping the moisture in the building at a minimum, and it's not always easy in the desert. We do like to brag that it's a dry heat, but when it's not, it causes all sorts of problems for us. And so our ops team is, I'd say, the best in the Southwest, and they do a great job of monitoring our resources using a lot of the Zamboni products, but also we just keep on the public to keep the doors closed. We have to make sure that our team is efficient and that they're all using the resources we have, the dehumidification systems, and it's just a perfectly well-oiled machine. We have to make sure we navigate.
So you do have dehumidification. I know a lot of rinks in the Southwest don't because of just how dry it is.
Yeah, no, in both our rinks we do, and they play a key part. Our ownership is extremely generous and invest in all the tools we need to have success and make sure that we're always set up for success. And even on the best day when everything goes perfect, there's still challenges in the rinks. And so we're lucky we have the resources we do. And when they are operating and we're operating well, it seems to make for a good product for our customers.
No, that's fantastic. Again, that's good to know. I know, again, especially when you're in the desert, it's obviously a costly investment, and a lot of people shy away from it just because of cost. But that's fantastic that you guys have that. So, speaking of which, you guys used to be the home of the Phoenix Coyotes before they moved up to Utah. With them departing, what kind of excitement and passion do you still see from the hockey community? Do you think it's fallen off? Do you think it's still going really well there? Has it
You know,
changed at all?
we have a unique, we've always been considered a non-traditional hockey market, even after the 25 plus years. I think what's unique about us, which is good and bad, is we haven't added a lot of sheets of ice to the valley. So we're under iced, which makes the demand for ice sports remains high because we have a lot of transplants from the Midwest, from Canada. And so when people are coming to town that already love hockey, that's in our favor. And then we're growing the game, the grassroots level. And so we don't see a drop off yet. That's not to say we're not going to see one. Different from when the Coyotes started, we now have the Arizona State Sun Devil Hockey Club. And so we have a D1 team in the Valley where we still have an opportunity to see live good hockey. We have a lot of local products. We have a couple kids that came through the Junior Coyotes who have recently signed with the Sun Devils. So that's come full circle, which is super exciting. What's disheartening is we were getting to that point where our born and raised hockey players like a Josh Doan, like a Matthew Tkachuk, started to make noise, and then the team left. So we had just got to that like full circle, born and raised, and then we lose the team. So we're hopeful that we can keep the momentum. Obviously, this year, Ovechkin, the Great Chase, the Four Nations, there was a lot that was keeping hockey on the radar, and it's in everyone's hands now, which unlike when I was a kid, you had to go to the game to see it. So kids have access to it, which is great. And those headlines this year were so fabulous for the sport, and then we're coming into Winter Olympics. So we're hopeful that we're not going to lose any momentum, but it's probably too soon to tell.
Got it. No, it's funny you bring that up. I was kind of curious again as it continues to grow and evolve and change. You guys have some of the best hockey players in the world have recently come out of Arizona, right? You have
Yeah.
obviously you just mentioned Josh Doan, who is Shane Doan's son, a Phoenix Coyote legend down there. Keith Tkachuk played for the Coyotes, and his sons Matthew and Brady, both in the NHL. Matthew being a two-time Stanley Cup champion. And then you have Austin Matthews up in Toronto, who are all homegrown Arizona kids. So I mean,
Right.
it's funny how you're saying that you are seeing that they're signing with the Sun Devils and kind of moving on. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see the game continue to grow in the non-traditional markets like that.
Yeah,
Um,
Matthew Nyes, Brandon Gorzinski, um, Ty Nash. I mean, it's been great.
Unbelievable. So with the transition from the Coyotes going to Utah, I know you guys have done some partnerships with the Vegas Golden Knights. They've done some camps, and what does that partnership look like? Is that something you guys continue to do more of, or are you going to expand on that partnership, or what's that look like?
We are super excited. I had reached out to the Knights a couple months back, and they responded immediately, which was great. And I think the main thing for me is we've always said hockey belongs in the desert, and Vegas is the other desert market. They understand the challenges. They have the same things working against them, and they've had tremendous success. So the fact that they were interested in partnering was super exciting. I mean, you live there. They bring a different level of extra to everything they do with a DJ and the mascot and the dance team. And so we've had a lot of fun. It's been well received. And they've done some free clinics, like you said. They did a road trip in July that went through Reno, Chandler, Tempe, Scottsdale. I'm missing a city. But we had 800 families doing free clinics, and we are now launching the NHL Learn to Play in Scottsdale. So we're super excited about that. Derek England is heavily invested and coming out as an alumni and getting to meet the players. So we're going to continue to build on that and hope that it keeps that NHL vibe alive here, keeps us relevant, so that hopefully we do get back on the NHL's radar and get a team back.
So with that, changing gears a little bit, over to the ice side of things, you guys are obviously Zamboni users. You have a lot of our technology on your machines with Fast Ice, with Level Ice, with Connect. Coming from the executive level, have you noticed any type of cost savings, water savings, just overall time that's helping your staff that you didn't have before?
I have. I mean, I think it's funny. Obviously, Matt is one of the Zamboni's biggest fans. And through him, I learned just like by mistake. And I hear myself talking about the machines better than I think I should, just because I hear Matt talk about them so much. But I think from customer satisfaction, coach satisfaction, and quality, I think the consistency now with some of the new improvements with the Fast Ice, and we're now getting, I think, Level Ice coming up on our next machine. So the consistency of the cuts is important and takes pressure off of our staff because it's a complicated process, and I don't think a lot of people understand just how much goes on in those 15 minutes. And so I think we're more efficient and we're more consistent, and the quality is better. Then we're not down. The cuts are done in a quicker manner, so then we're getting more ice athletes on. So I think we're seeing that. We're seeing less. We're staying ahead of repairs. We're keeping on top of maintenance. So we're minimizing different areas of where you could be either lost revenue from not having the ice up, or you could have a repair to the ice and or the machine. So I think that's where it's been important, as someone that sees the bills go out, that we're managing that well.
Awesome. Listen, I've skated in your guys' rinks, and you guys have fantastic ice. But the one question I do have is, how do you keep your ice so cold in the desert like that? Are you just cranking those compressors to all they can handle, or what? Because I don't think I ever expected to be so cold in Arizona as I was in your guys' rinks.
I know the Apex rink is known as one of the coldest corners in the state when it gets going. Competes with my hometown of Winnipeg. I mean, I have to tip my hat to Apex Refrigeration, who's our partner. That team knows exactly what they're doing and works with Matt and our ops team. I do think it comes down to how we built the building. Everything was very intentional with the buildings. When we built the building, how we built the building, when we improved, or we made upgrades in 2016 and 18, where we went from sand to concrete floors in the Coyotes rink and the Shandong rink. Apex was built that way. We converted Chandler. So I think it just goes back to ownership, investing in everything we can to ensure that we are setting ourselves up, to have the best ice, to minimize outside elements. And then, I mean, I sign our utility bills. They're not cheap. So, it's far from what I pay at home. So I think it's just, I can't thank our ownership enough for investing in us to ensure that we can do what we do every day to the best ability we can. But it is a challenge at this time of year, but in the winter, we're usually better. And again, our ops team, they know what they're doing. They're experts in their field, and that's why they're on the team.
No, for sure. Listen, buying quality matters. It always, the proof's in the results. So
yeah.
No, I totally understand that. Listen, you guys have done some very cool things marketing wise. I know last year you guys did a 3 machine cut. Is that something that you guys do often, or how do you come up with those type of things? I don't think I've ever seen a 3 machine cut on a nice sheet before.
I'd like to brag. Our team is very innovative, and when we come up with different things, we've got a great team we've all worked together a long time. So each year when we raise the bar, we know we got to raise it again. So we try and be creative, we try to be collaborative, we try to be innovative. And that was one of the members of the ops teams, Andy. We were really behind on a tournament due to injuries, shootouts, overtimes, anthems. It just everything got away from us that day. And to make up time, they decided they were going to do a triple cut. Like we do double cuts, but they were going to do a triple, which was frightening when you heard that was the call on the radio, but they nailed it. And then he had some fun with that video that he put together, and then we put it on social, and everybody loves the Zamboni. So that was just something unique and different. So we had fun with it.
Anybody who hasn't seen it, it's on YouTube, so definitely check it out. Again, speaking of that, what is your most memorable Zamboni moment? Do you drive at all? I know I know you got a lot of responsibilities, you got a lot of things going on, but have they put you on a machine? Do you have a memorable moment on the Zamboni?
No, my first week back at the Den, they let me sit on it and take a photo. That's the
Okay.
closest I get. I joke with Paula, I get to sign the checks when we buy a new Zamboni. I get to pay for the parts, but they don't let me near it. I also drive like a grandma, so they joke that I would probably have success because sometimes we have to tell drivers to slow down, and they wouldn't have to tell me to slow down. But no, my favorite is when you see kids see it up close and personal for the first time. You see kids get excited at the NHL games, but at our rinks, you can go right up on the glass and the Zamboni comes like right in front of you. So when you see someone see it for the first time and how excited they are, that's always fun for me. The parents that just have nothing to do with our programs, but the child just wants to come see the Zamboni, and so they literally just do like a little field trip to the ice den. I think that's fun. But my favorite is we have fun with our Zams, and we name them. They all have nicknames based on either a logo that's on them or the color theme of it. And so the last one we got was when the Coyotes were leaving, and so we named it Wilson after the head equipment manager of the Arizona Coyotes, who came down with the team from Winnipeg, who's been in our building probably as much or more than Matt. I mean, we'd be loading in at 3 a.m. when the team got back from a road trip. And so we named it Wilson. And when we told him, he was so touched. For me, that was cool.
Awesome. Very cool. So obviously you named that one based off an equipment manager who was there for a long time. Are the other ones, do they all have those kind of ties, or are they very different type of stories on how you come up with the names?
Over the years, it's changed, and the ops team is usually the ones that come up with it. We had a red and black, really cool design a couple years ago. They called Deadpool. We have one that has the Arizona Kachina, their mascot logo on it, so that's called Kachina. Not very original. There's one called Rudy, who's another one of the Coyotes managers, equipment managers, and then the 2 hockey directors in Chandler. One's named after Ron, and one's named after Money. So we have fun with it.
All right. So just so you know, I was on the phone with Matt Mendelson, your ops manager, this morning, because he owes us color for your new machine that's coming off the line here soon.
I thought we just did this.
Do we have a name or a top 5 in the running right now for the new one?
We don't. We have to see it.
Okay.
It's like the newborn baby. You got to see it, and you got to sit on it and see.
Okay.
I don't know what colors we're gonna do. He was just in here talking about that, and I feel like we just did this. But yeah, they have a good time with it. It's fun.
So again, with the Coyotes moving on, with the Knights coming in and helping out, what do you guys see? And again, I know you said you want to have another NHL team in your market here eventually. What do you see for hockey in your guys' area for the next 5, 10, 20 years? Do you see a long-term kind of growth plan there, or is it just status quo for the time being? Like, what do you see for hockey in Phoenix?
Right now, and I don't know what other partners you've talked to, our biggest concern right now is we have a gap in our pipeline from the pandemic. So not a lot of kids were starting to play youth sports in 2020, 2021, 2022. So that was the 14, 15, 16, 17 birth years, because 5 and 6-year-olds had limited access to group programming while everyone was kind of coming out of that chaos. And so we're trying right now to make sure that we're filling the the gaps there. So players are starting later, like they're kind of skipping over mini mites and mites because they're coming in at 8 or 9, and then we're getting them right into that age division. So that's something that's a concern right now for us. Goalies in Arizona are short, so we're trying to build our goalie crew. And then not losing momentum because the Coyotes left. So we're hoping the Knights are going to fill that space. If we don't add sheets, I think we're going to be okay. And we just want to keep producing quality, figure skaters and hockey players in our market. But it's hard to say today. The Ice Ends are going to continue to try to produce, the best programs and get the most people on the ice, highest and best use of every ice slot. So we're getting as many ice sports athletes out there as possible, just due to the limited ice in the valley. And then we hope the Sun Devils have tremendous success and keep us on the map there. We have a lot of alumni. We have a lot of NHL alumni in the valley. A lot of guys retire here. So we're hoping to keep them engaged. We have a number of them in the Junior Coyotes program that coach, like Derek Morris and Michael Grabner and Z McCulloch. So that's been a really big push for us too. So we're going to just keep pushing on.
Well, thank you so much. I won't take up any more of your time.
Yeah.
But this has been fantastic. And if you haven't been to the Ice Den in Chandler or Scottsdale, people definitely go out there and check it out. So.
Yep. No, thank you guys for having me. We love our Zambonis. We have 5. We love the swag we get. It's one of our key partners that keeps us, keeps our reputation what it is. So we appreciate all you do for us.
No, absolutely. Well, Marcy, I will let you get back to your day. And as you told me before when introducing yourself, bye, Fileccia.